ఆలయం కరుణాలయం నమామి భగవత్పాద శంకరం లోకశంకరం శంకరం శంకరాచార్యం కేశవం బాదరాయణం సూత్రభాష్యకృతౌ వందే భగవంతౌ పునః పునః. हरि ओम जी, हरि ओम जी. So, Bhashyakara says Vedanta does not reveal the truth as an object, because it says Atma is the Satya, Atma is Brahman. The essence of the whole Shastram is the very subject, the Vishayi, is a Brahma Vastu. Therefore, and the subject, if it is distinct from the object, then it is nirvisesha. Because the Visesha abides only in the objects. We have only physical features as the Viseshanas, biological features as the adjectives, and mental features as adjectives. But if there is something, the one who is aware of all of them, he doesn't have. He is aware of them, but he doesn't have them. Because the fundamental clarity about Vedanta is the one who is aware of something is not qualified by that something. The one who is aware of the buffalo doesn't have the features of buffalo, if you like the example. A person who is aware of the body has no features of the body. The one who is aware of the mind has no features of the mind. Therefore, what is most evident is not only that we are conscious, but we are also nirvisesha. Nirviseshatvam also is swata siddham. It is not that a part of the truth is swata siddham, self-evident, and the other parts are not self-evident. No. The entire truth is self-evident. That we are conscious is evident. And the one who is aware of the fire has no quality of the fire. The one who is aware of the physical is not physical. The one who is aware of the biological is not biological. The one who is aware of the emotions doesn't have emotions. The one who is aware of the waking state has no features of the waking state. The one who is aware of the dream state has no features of the dream state. The one who is aware of their absence has no features of the absence. Therefore, not only our existence is self-evident, our conscious identity is self-evident, our even nirviseshatvam is self-evident. Even advitiyatvam is self-evident, but one doesn't understand. There is only lack of understanding about the truth, not really the evidence of the truth. Evidence of the truth is absolutely there. Existence is choicelessly felt, conscious identity is consciously felt, and choicelessly is free from the features of what he is aware of. And even non-dual nature is self-evident. Because everything is within the sight of the person. Therefore, nothing is outside the sight. The elements are not outside the sight. And therefore, everything is, existence is self-evident, that it is Satyam is self-evident, that it is Jnanam is self-evident, and that it is Anantam also is self-evident. Yes, Anantatvam is not evident. Anantatvam is not understood. That it is Satyam is not understood, but it is evident. That it is Jnanam is not understood, but it is evident. That it is Anantam is evident, but not understood. Therefore, the problem is one of non-understanding what is self-evident. It is not a problem of non-evidence of the truth. ये बहुत बड़ी विद्या है जी. ये वाक्य को अगर समझेंगे तो there is no problem of non-evidence of the truth. There is only a problem of non-recognition of the evident. That way the Vedanta Pramana does not make the unevident truth evident. Vedanta Pramana helps us recognize what is evident. Vedanta Pramana only helps us recognize what is self-evident. It helps us recognize the truth as truth and the error as error. Doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani. Yes. That is why it is called, Hansa. Vedanta is also called Hans, Paramahansa. Why? Because it makes you see the doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani. Yes. I just heard one story. A bandar, a milkman, he always used to put 50% milk and 50% water. And then one day all the money that he collected, put it under a tray and then he went for drinking water. And a bandar comes and takes it up, and then one coin in the water and one coin on the land. That means what? Doodh ka doodh? Yes. ये भी होता है जी जिंदगी में. Never bank on adharma. Always bank on dharma. If one doesn't have too much of wealth, so what? रोटी मिल जाता है. Bhagavan always gives more than you can consume. I may not have to satisfy my ego, satisfy my desire, but God always gives me enough to satisfy my liver, satisfy my, appease my hunger. Anyway, ji, not only this is something you have to think again and again. Our existence is something that is self-evident, our conscious identity is self-evident, our nirvisheshatvam is self-evident, our advitiyatvam also is self-evident. There is nothing. All that I want to be, that one already is, and that is self-evident. Vedanta comes and makes you look at it. In that sense, Shabda is a pramana. Shabda doesn't sustain the truth. It only makes you look at the truth. Okay, ji, all this we have seen, yesterday. Now comes the topic of avidya. Avidya is not something that came about. Avidya doesn't come about. Avidya never came about. A man is ignorant because he doesn't know. Put both of them in the present tense. I told this before also. Never put ignorance in the past tense. I am ignorant because I don't know. Both are present tense. Simple present. I am ignorant because I don't know. I don't know the truth because I have never looked at it. I don't look at it. I have never. I don't look at it. I don't look at myself. I am ignorant about myself because I don't know myself. Or I have wrong knowledge about myself because I don't have the right knowledge. Say in any manner. I am ignorant because I don't know. It's a kind of a restatement it is. I am ignorant of myself as Brahman, or I have an error about myself. I feel I am the body because I don't know that my existence is independent of the body. Why I don't know myself? Because I don't look at myself. Why I don't look at myself? Because I never feel the need to look at myself. The very ignorance, the very self-error doesn't allow you to look at the self. Because there is no doubt. Whenever you have a sense of reality, you don't doubt. In the dream, when you are dreaming the objects, you have they all look real. Therefore, you don't doubt them. Are they real? Are they not real? Are they real? Are they unreal? You don't doubt it. Doubt is not a whimsical doubt, but the real doubt, the genuine doubt, is possible only when the object now looks real, now looks false. Now looks real, now looks false. Yes, koti dvayam. Now looks real, now looks false. Then I can doubt only. Kya hai? Is it real or false? Sometimes he is so serious and sometimes he is so whimsical. What is he? You can have a doubt, Sometimes he is so nice and sometimes he is so bad. Then you start getting confused. You say, what is this man? Sometimes he is so nice. Yesterday he was talking about all dharma, and today he says, let us go and murder a banker and loot the bank. What is he? Sometimes he looks like a Ravan and sometimes he looks like a Ram. What is he? Doubt is possible. But there is a consistent sense of reality about the dream objects. Then how can you doubt it? Similarly, there is a consistent sense of reality that I am the body. If there is inconsistency, then I can have a doubt. But I have a consistent sense of reality that I am only the body, nothing else. When body is, I am. When the body is not, I am not. Dehe pushte, aham pushtaha. Dehe nashte, aham nashtaha. So, the sense of reality is felt in Sanskrit also. So it is felt in Hindi, it is felt in English, it is felt in every language. One doesn't doubt. Therefore, I don't look at myself. That's why I remain ignorant about my nature. Why do I remain ignorant? Because I don't look at myself. Why I don't look at myself? Because there is no need to look at myself. I don't feel the need. There is need, but I don't feel the need. Why I don't feel the need? Because there is no doubt. Because there is a consistent sense of reality about my being the form. My being the form is consistently felt. Therefore, that is called ignorance. When did it come? Why did it come? Don't ask these questions. Because ignorance doesn't belong to the past. I am ignorant because I don't look at myself. I don't look at myself. I look at myself as the form about which I feel the sense of reality. But everything is in the present tense. Don't even say I have been is wrong. I am. Therefore, if this is understood, then you get a lot of prasadam. What is it? Why did ignorance come? When did ignorance come? Why did ignorance come? When did ignorance come? Hey Bhagavan. ठीक है. Sometimes flat is better. Why? Who created ignorance? Why am I ignorant? These are all unnecessary questions. That's why we waste a lot of time with unnecessary questions. You take a wrong turn and then you keeps wasting time. You get one definition wrong and then the whole life goes wrong. I'm telling you. If you have to spoil the whole life, get one definition wrong. one definition wrong. That is, what is Bhagavan? Get it wrong, then your whole life is gone. It is all chaotic. God is in heaven, suppose. Then your whole life is hellish. It is hell because you deny yourself the truth of the peace of your being. Because you always think your peace is in heaven. Your happiness is in heaven. The divinity is in heaven. And therefore, whenever I think of the paroksham, I miss the aparoksham. When I think of the paroksham, I miss the aparoksham. And therefore, avidya did not come about. Avidya does not come about, never came about. Nobody creates ignorance, because if avidya can come about, even after destroying it, it can again come about. So then there will be no redemption. And therefore, these points you have to think about. I am unhappy. Put it in all in present tense. I am unhappy. I am a struggler. I feel dissatisfied. I feel miserable. I feel uncomfortable. I feel insecure. I feel frightened. All these things. Feel. Don't even say I have been feeling. That's all meaningless. I feel. I feel this. I feel insecure. I feel sad. I feel insecure. I feel unhappy, I feel limited, I feel dissatisfied, etc., because I don't know the truth about myself. That's called avidya. Why I don't know the truth? Because I don't look at myself. Why I don't look at myself? Because I don't feel the need to look at myself. Why I don't feel the need to look at myself? Because that I am the form, it looks so real. Therefore, what is it that prevents me from reflection? The very sense of reality about the error. Bhashyakara puts it very beautifully. It is the very adhyasa, it is the very self-error that comes in the way of understanding the truth. Because the self-error does not allow you to analyze, to look at the truth. My sense of reality about the dream does not allow me to question it. My sense of reality about anything doesn't allow me to question it. Supposing there is some post and it looks like a man looking, a very tall man. Their doubt is possible because itna lamba aadmi aaya kahan se? Even though it looks real, but my logic says, itna lamba aadmi kahan se? Maybe it's not a man, it is something else. So there is a small scope for doubt. Once there is scope for doubt, then I explore. Once I explore, I come to the truth. But I must have the genuine basis for exploration. That genuine basis for exploration is that genuine doubt. So about the post-looking man, I can have there is scope for doubt. If I see the rope as a snake, there is a scope for doubt because it doesn't move away. I throw a stone, it doesn't move away. Is it a snake? There is a scope for doubt. इतनी लंबी सर्प मेरे बेडरूम में कहाँ से आ गए? ये भी होता है ना? इतनी लंबी सर्प हमारे बेडरूम में कहाँ से आया? There is a small little scope for doubt. Exploration is possible. Throw the light. You can solve the problem. But in the case of life, I am the body. In this, there is no doubt at all. Man may speculate a doubt, but there is no genuine doubt. A speculated doubt is different. Are you able to follow? A speculated doubt, imaginary doubt. Even if somebody says, Am I the body? It is a speculated doubt. It is a speculated doubt. Unless there is a genuine doubt, there cannot be any exploration, vichara. That I am Deha gives me no scope to doubt. It is not that nobody thinks, therefore I don't think. That is all wrong. When it comes to non-reflection, it is not Dekha Dekhi. Dekha Dekhi is all about the conventions, habits, festivals. Lifestyles are Dekha Dekhi. You understand, These days everybody is wearing South Indian dress and you also wear. That is what is called Dekha Dekhi. Gatanugatiko Loka. Gatanugatiko Loka. दुनिया दूसरों को देखती है, अपना लाइफस्टाइल बनाती है. There is no independent. But if a person is not, if he doesn't look at himself, it is not because others don't look at themselves. It is not because others are unreflective. It is not because others are not exploring, therefore I don't explore. It's not that reason. If a person doesn't look at himself because the very sense of reality that he is the form doesn't allow him to look at himself. And don't say, nobody studies Vedanta, therefore I don't study Vedanta. This is all galat. Wrong. Everybody drinks, therefore I also. That's a habit. In the matter of habit, gatanugatu, dekha dekhi. In the matter of habit, dekha dekhi. Everybody performs everybody celebrates Diwali, I also celebrate Diwali. Look, kya sochenge? Everybody lights candles in the balcony on the Diwali day, we also do. Even I do it. Look, kya sochenge? Because as human beings, we are all gatanugatiko loka. But when it comes to, supposing you are unhappy, it is not gatanugatika. Supposing you are unhappy, it is not because everybody is unhappy, therefore you are unhappy. If you are happy, it is not because everybody is happy that you are happy. If you are struggling, it is not because everybody is struggling, therefore you are. The struggle is linked to self-ignorance, not dekha-dekhi. And therefore, how should we look at ignorance? I am ignorant about myself. The Shruti says you are ignorant about yourself. So man doesn't even know that he is ignorant about himself. The Shruti comes and says, sir, you are suffering because you are ignorant of yourself. Then comes the analysis about ignorance. What is ignorance? I don't know myself. I look at myself as a form. This is called avidya. Non-understanding, lack of right knowledge and followed by wrong knowledge. And this avidya is something that is anadi. You can't even say this universe has been, is wrong. Say, I see the universe. I see myself seeing a universe, bas. I see myself seeing a universe. That's called the self-error. I see myself seeing a universe. And if you say it has been there, if you put it in time, I see myself seeing time. I see myself seeing even continuity. A phenomenon like a pot. I see myself seeing a pot. I also see myself seeing a phenomenon called continuity. Even continuity is like a pot. I see myself as continuity. This is what is called really the creation. Creation is not something that continues. Continuity is not something. I see myself seeing the continuity. I see myself seeing the universe. इतना तो समझ लीजिए. There is no universe. There is only seeing myself, seeing the universe. That is called the perception. We are not perceiving the universe. The self is perceiving itself as the seeing the. You don't see the dream. You are seeing yourself as the seer of the dream. You can't see anything else. Like the water sees itself as a wave. Itself as a wave. It doesn't see something else called wave. Water sees itself as a wave. The wood sees itself as a table. The wood doesn't see something else called a table. Because if there is nothing else, other than the wood here in the context of the table, there is nothing other than the wood. Now how can it see something else in itself? Truth sees itself as the seer of the universe. That is called the creation. Truth sees itself as the seer of the universe. And therefore, this avidya, there is avidya, not that it has been. It has been is a thought rooted in the perception I am. Past is rooted in the simple present tense. Now let us see. Yadyapi swarupena, yadyapi even though, swarupena by nature, vedya veditra vedanadi bheda varjitameva brahma. Brahman is something that is free from vedya, veditru and vedana. Vedya means the known, veditru means that one who knows, one who is aware of it. It is called the knower, ER. Veditra, it is a relative word. Vedya. So the truth is free from this knower-known relationship. Vedya, the known, veditra, the knower, Vedana and the process of knowing the person, knowing, the act of knowing, Adi, etc. Veda varjitameva, it is free from it. Truth by nature is free from all relationships, including the most fundamental relationship called the knower-known relationship. Knower-known relationship is self-error. All other relationships are just, we create them and we lose them. Like you get married, you strike a relation and it goes in time. It's all man-made relations. But the knower-known relationship is not man-made, means it's not born of human will. It is not born of human volition, will. It is not decided by man. A family relationship is decided by man. Let me get married. Then it becomes, then you get into a relationship. And that relationship leads to another relationship. You see, then it multiplies. First wife and husband, then father and children, then grandfather and grandchildren. Then Sambandhi relationship. Oh, Rama, samsara keeps growing. You become a Bhishma Pitamaha with a huge sansara. Huge sansara. Now what will they do? So when you leave the body, you have a big crowd around you. So you can feel great. Yeah, when my neighbor died, very few people were there, but look at me. That's all. So you can gloat on the big crowd, ji. Like Bhishma Pitama, all Kauravas came, at least the survivor. There were no survivors. Pandavas came and all his friends, everybody came. What is the use of becoming a Bhishma Pitamahaji? Really, life is there. All right, you have a few pleasures of children and a few pleasures of grandchildren. And then you grow old and then you die. Then what is the big achievement? What is the big achievement? If death is the goal, then achievement has no meaning at all. If I have to just live ignorant and die ignorant, then what is the achievement? What is the big achievement? Therefore, Vedya Veditri Vedanadi Vedavarjitameva Brahma Nityashaha, eternally. Our existence is eternally free from the knower known relationship. This knower known relationship is called a correlation. It's as an individual I get related to the Jagat. As a Jiva I get related to Jagat. Therefore Jiva Jagat relationship is called a correlation. Because this topic about this correlation is a very conveying topic. Fantastic topic it is. Correlation is not made by man. A psychiatrist cannot treat you for a correlation. Understand? Supposing you have a problem with your wife, you can go to a psychiatrist. But supposing there is a fundamental relationship called a correlation, self-ignorance born relation called I am the seer and the Jagat is seen. How can a psychiatrist treat it? He also has it. Therefore, man-made relationships can be handled, but not man-made relation. The fundamental relation, that is knower-known relationship. Even this fundamental relationship is a self-error. It is avidya. In fact, every correlation is avidya. Senses and sense objects, correlation. Eyes and forms, correlation. Ears and sounds, correlation. Thought and object, correlation. Thinker and thought, correlation. Correlations are not man-made. They are fundamental self-error. I hope I have conveyed this. I have been repeating it, thinking that some morning it will go home. The day you come after taking idli, maybe it will go home. Because supposing you come after taking paratha, it won't go home. Paratha also comes in the way of understanding. Makes you feel heavy. Therefore, this is very beautiful, By nature, eternally the self is free from the fundamental self-error called relationship, called knower-known relationship. Tathapi, but still, tasmin, in that nirvisesha atma, the self is free from the correlation, and yet there is a correlation felt in it. Why? Because its freedom from the correlation is not understood. You see, the reason for an error is only not understanding the fact. I don't look at myself very closely. Asmat pratyaya gocharatva lakshanam veditritvam. Even though Atma is nirvisesham, but in that nirvisesha Atma, one sees an error called veditritvam. Veditritvam means the sense of subject, sense of being a subject, a given subject. The sense of individuality. Veditritvam. And related to me, the individual, is the Vedyam, the universe. Taditaratvena vibhavitecha. Now, a sense of individuality is felt in the unlimited self. And as an individual, I look at myself as me. Me as different from this. This me as different from what I see is called the aham pratyaya vishaya, otherwise called asmat pratyaya vishaya. Technically, this is called the I. That means the imposed sense of individuality. The sense of individuality. The sense of limitation. The sense of being aware of something. Vibhavitecha idam pratyaya gocharatva lakshanam vedyatvam cha prakalpya. And also, in relation to oneself, the individual, you also perceive the Vedyam, the word. That is also Kalpana. That means in the Nirvisesha Atma, there is a perception of the sense of individuality about itself and the sense of perceiving something, a form. I perceive myself as an individual. I also perceive a universe. When I see myself as a given individual, that is called the aham pratyaya vishaya, that is called the self-error. And this self-error includes the sense of perception about the universe, this relationship. I am the form. This is called the sense of equation. Makes me feel the sense of individual, that I am an individual. As an individual, I get related to the Jagat. Thus, the entire self-error accounts for the sense of sense of equation and the sense of relationship. Now, between the sense of equation and the sense of relationship, between them there is no time gap. Nor they are two simultaneous events. They have to be treated as one. The sense of equation and the sense of relationship have to be treated as one. If you treat them as two, then you get into trouble. Which came first? Which came later? All these problems begin because it's like saying which came first, the seed or the tree. Why? I count them as two. Once I count them as two, then I want to see the sequence. And because there is no sequence, because tree is a tree, manifest a tree, seed is unmanifest tree, both are a tree. One is manifest, the other is unmanifest. The manifest and the unmanifest, the potential and the expression should never be counted as two. It is one. Should be counted as one. Like action and result should be counted as one. It's one law. It's one realm, a realm of action and result. Even though we use the word and, action and result, but they have to be treated as one block, so that you don't worry. As a student of Vedanta, you don't waste time thinking, karma pahle aaya ya phal pahle aaya. सारी problem हो जाती है. There can be a logical sequence, not kalakrama. Pratipatti krama poses no problem, but kalakrama poses a problem. Pratipatti krama poses no problem. There is a pratipatti krama among the 5 elements. Presupposing the creation of the space is the creation of the air. That is called presupposing, not after. Therefore here, this asmat pratyaya vishayatvam, yushmat pratyaya vishayatvam is too much for you. Because I know you very well. आप लोग इतना वेदांत ठोस वेदांती में पढ़ने में इतना बड़ा ये नहीं है. लेकिन इसलिए but I am telling you, dehoham is what is called asmat pratyaya, means the idea, the thought that I am the form. I am a self-error is called asmat pratyaya. When I get related to an object, that is called yushmat pratyaya, vishaya. And the best language that you can use for your own convenience is the sense of equation with the form and the sense of relationship with the universe. The sense of equation with the form is called asmat pratyaya. And the sense of relationship with the object is called yushmat pratyaya. Vedyatvam cha prakalpya vyavaharati. Man behaves. How does he behave? Ahamidam vedmi. I am aware of this. This is the fundamental self-error. I am aware of this. Aham idam vedmi. This is called a correlation. Correlation is fundamental relation, which is not made by man, which we find ourselves with. It is self-error. Why do I find myself with a correlation? Because I don't understand the oneness. Because every correlation is rooted in oneness. Correlation by definition is rooted in Mukhya Ekatvam. Gauna Ekatvam is choicelessly rooted in Mukhya Ekatvam. इसके बारे में सोचना चाहिए. If there are philosophy students in the universities, these philosophy students in the universities must really make research into it. If they call it research, but they can take up this as the topic. How Gauna Ekatvam choicelessly rooted in oneness. Every correlation. Eyes and forms choicelessly get correlated. There would be no eyes without the forms, colors, and there would be no colors and forms. Minus if God had not created the eyes, there would be no forms, and minus the forms, no eyes. This is called a correlation, where one without the other can't exist. That is called a correlation. But in ignorance we count them as two, but a correlation should be counted as one. It is a correlation. Not two things correlated. ऐसा कुछ नहीं. There is a correlation. One. It is a realm of correlation. And therefore it is non-dual. It is a virtual oneness. That is why it is called Gauna Ekatvam. Correlation is a virtual oneness. And that virtual oneness is rooted in literal one. Literal oneness. Literal oneness. Therefore, what is aham idam ved me? I know this. This is the fundamental relation. This is called the fundamental vyavahara. This is called vyavahara. Vyavahara means in contrast to paramartha, just silent being. Seeing something else. Looking at myself as a form and looking at the universe is the fundamental vyavahara. This is called vyavahara. And jiva is vyavaharika jiva. A jiva is one who is in the realm of vyavahara. Vyavahara does not mean a transaction. That is topical vyavahara. खान मार्केट में जाके थोड़ा सा कुछ खरीद के ले आओ. What is that? Shopping in Khan market, is it fundamental vyavahara? Even though that is the fundamental vyavahara for South Delhi people. That is just a topical. Topical means, it's a very, very non-essential. We create that vyavahara. It's a very topical, empirical vyavahara, over which I have a choice. Anything over which I have a choice is topical. I can go to the Khan market or I need not go to the Khan market. Topical. But I have no choice over getting related to, getting equated with the form and getting related to the universe. That I have no choice. I find myself related. I have no choice over getting related to the form through the eyes, related to the sound through the ears, related to the sense object to the senses. I have no choice over it. I find myself with it. This is what is called the fundamental vyavahara. Anadi vyavahara. Fundamental vyavahara. And if you meet friends and if you meet this person, that person and come, that is also vyavahara. But what vyavahara? Topical vyavahara. Laukika vyavahara. It is called laukika vyavahara. Samajik vyavahara. Topical vyavahara. Samajik vyavahara. Over it is a Purusha Tantra vyavahara. Not a Kalpita vyavahara. It is Purusha Tantra. Purusha Tantra means over which you have a choice. But to stand related to the universe, to see, to hear, to taste, to test, to touch, to smell, to be aware of the world, to be aware of the waking, to be aware of the dream, and to go to sleep and again re-begin of being aware of the waking, and feeling, seeing the limitation and struggling to be happy. This is all fundamental vyavahara. It is a timeless vyavahara. It is a vyavahara that is in the form of self-era. It is not in the form of a transaction chosen by man by his choice. It is not a topical vyavahara. Are you able to follow? Therefore, ahamidam vedmi. This is one. Next is tatha atmani kartritvam bhoktritvam cha. Not only I find myself aware of something, I find myself struggling to be happy. That is called kartritva. I find myself struggling, doing something or the other. I may have choice over a given action, but I have no choice over some action, doing some action or the other to make myself happy. I may have choice to do this, to take up a job or not. It is my choice to do a job or not. It's not choiceless. I can be nice to my boss, it's my choice, or I can just dump him and go. Therefore, we have a choice over a given action, but we have no choice over action per se to make ourselves happy. I always keep doing something or the other in order to make myself happy. This is what is called struggling to make oneself happy, is called kartritvam. Always I am doing something. Kuch na kuch karte rahta hu to make myself happy. You see, I have a choice over making money also. I may decide not to make money. I may decide not to do the job. I may decide not to live in the society. I may decide, this is all my decision, my choice. I may choose to live in a cave. I may choose not to do anything or not to do anything. But the struggle for happiness is something I can't manipulate. I can't manipulate it. It's choiceless. Why? Because happiness happens to be our nature, and I want to get back. Therefore, the love for happiness is choiceless. Love for peace is choiceless. Therefore, that fundamental effort to become happy this way or that way is what is called kartrutvam. The fundamental kartrutvam must be understood in vis-a-vis, as against a topical kartrutva, chosen kartrutva. Kartum shakyam, Bhashyakara says, kartum shakyam, akartum shakyam, anyatha va kartum shakyam. He says, this topical kartrutvam gives you choice. Supposing गांव जाना चाहते हैं, you can go by bus, you can go by car, you can go by a bullock cart, you can go walking, or you can decide not to go. That's the best decision. स्वामी जी ऋषिकेश बस में जाएंगे, गाड़ी में जाएंगे, प्लेन में जाएंगे. अगर हमको पूछेंगे तो जाओ मत, आराम से घर में बैठो. Just giving it as an example. But this particular thing, the struggle for happiness is not something that can be manipulated by choice. I can't manipulate. That is what we call fundamental kartrutvam. The fundamental, the timeless kartrutvam, anadi kartrutvam. Meaning it did not begin at a given point of time. It doesn't begin and end. It ends only in the discovery of the truth. That is called the timeless. The struggle to make oneself happy ends only in the light of understanding of the truth. This topical kartrutvam, America jana ana, it has a beginning and an end, it is all by choice. Thus, I want you to understand the difference between कर्तृत्व फंडामेंटल एंड कर्तृत्व टॉपिकल. ये लोग समझते नहीं ये बात को. इट इज द फंडामेंटल कर्तृत्व दैट गिव्स यू इनसाइट इनटू द ट्रूथ. इट इज द अकर्ता व्हिच लुक्स लाइक कर्ता. दैट इज द सेल्फ एरर. इट इज द अकर्ता, द ट्रूथ, द अकर्ता, द आत्मा, that looks like the karta. Ahamidam vedmi te tatha atmani kartrutvam bhoktrutvam. Not only that, the fundamental struggle is a self-error, and the fundamental love to enjoy something or the other to find happiness. Bhoktrutvam should be understood like this. The love is not to enjoy the objects, the love is to be happy, that's all. And he doesn't know how to be happy, therefore he thinks that he can get happiness through sense enjoyment. Therefore enjoyment is a strategy adopted by the jiva for his happiness. Enjoyment can be renounced, but the struggle for the love for happiness cannot be renounced. Bhoga can be renounced, because man's fundamental love is not for Vishaya Bhoga. No. If man's fundamental love were for Vishaya Bhoga, then Vairagya would have been impossible. Shastra Pramanam would be to get into trouble. Therefore, Vishaya Bhoga is not the fundamental desire of man, but to find oneself full, to become happy and full. Purnatvam is his fundamental desire. That is called Bhoktritvam. Because he doesn't know that he is already full, and he doesn't even know really that it is within him, therefore he tries to extract some happiness from the objects, and he goes about enjoying, and that is called Bhoktritvam. Tatha atmani kartritvam bhoktritvam cha prakalpya. Therefore, kartritvam is self-error, bhoktritvam also is self-error. Vyavaharati loka, aham idam karomi, I am doing this. Tena sukham dukkham va anubhavami, and I am experiencing pleasure and pain. I am experiencing. In the truth, where there is neither material sukham nor material dukkham, neither there is sense pleasure nor there is sense pain, in that self is created a sense of pleasure and pain. Tatra, therefore, ahamidam karomi tena sukham dukkham va anubhavami iti tatra idam pratyagamyam anatma rupam vedyam. And everything that is objectified is anatma. It is something unlike myself. What I see is unlike myself. That is called anatma. The form is anatma. It is called anatma because we are too familiar with the term anatma. What does it mean, anatma? Anatma means it is not other than me. It is unlike me. Because there is no other. The wave is not other than water. The wave is only unlike water. It is only a form. It is unlike water. Water is H2O. This taranga, it is a created form. It is a look. A look is different from the substance, the H2O. Just as a wave is unlike water, anatma is unlike atma. Atma is unlike. If we can register this point, that atma is unlike anatma, anatma is only unlike atma, there is vailakshanyam, vilakshanata between atma and anatma, but there is no real dvaitam. Dvaitam can't be there. Because, see, I'll give you a logic, Ji. Maybe you can follow this. If you can follow this logic that I am going to tell, you are very bright, Ji. Otherwise, Swamiji, then ठीक. थोड़ा ठीक. सब्जी वगैरह खरीदने के लिए ठीक है. Yes. You have to assert your intelligence, your understanding capacity. You should never let yourself down. See, if the Atma, if the subject is totally unlike the object, then it is unlike the limited. If it is unlike the limited, then it should be unlimited. If it is unlimited, there cannot be other. Therefore, the limited cannot be parallel to the unlimited. Therefore, the limited must be an appearance in the unlimited. Yes. Therefore, Advaitam is also self-evident. This logic is given by the very Shruti. And our common sense tells, if Atma is unlike Anatma, then it is unlike the limited. If it is unlike the limited, then definitely it is unlimited. If it is unlimited, then the limited cannot be parallel. Therefore, between the self and the non-self, between the subject and the object, there can be only dissimilarity, but not a division. Did you follow this? There can be only dissimilarity, but not division. There cannot be division, but only dissimilarity. And therefore, it is called, that is why it is called Anatma. Atma, Anatma. Reflect on this. Me and the universe. Me and the form. Me and the sound. Me and the object of taste. Me and the object of touch. Me and the object of smell. Me and the body. Me and the body also. Me and the thoughts. Me and the emotions. Because I am aware of them. I am aware of them. I may have equation with the body. And yet, it continues to be objectified by me. I stand as aware of the body. I stand as aware of my thoughts. I stand as aware of. Therefore, anything that I am aware of is anatma. And the one who is aware of, therefore, what are we? Because we are aware of. Even the body I am aware of. The table I am aware of. It is unlike me. Similarly, there is no difference between being aware of the table and being aware of the body. Therefore, the body is also unlike the self. It is jada. And therefore, thus, in this manner, there is Atma and Anatma, the Vailakshanyam. Aham pratyaya gammesya vedituhu. This is something. Every anatma exists only in relation to Atma. Otherwise it has no existence. This is called correlation. Me as an individual gets related to the Jagat, and Jagat exists only as related to the one who is the perceived. The perceived exists in relation to the perceiver, and the perceiver as perceiver exists only in relation to the perceived. Thus, perceiver-perceived relationship is what is called correlation. We use so many other kinds of language. See a perceiver-perceived relation, subject-object relation, knower-known relation, in this manner, and the conscious and the inert relation, chit, jada relation, it all means the same thing. Don't get scared of too many big words. It's simply nothing. It's just nothing. Just seer-seen relation. Who doesn't know seer-seen relation? That relationship is called the correlation, which is the fundamental creation, fundamental self-error. That is called the adhyasa. Fundamental. The correlation is a fundamental creation in the oneness. Because correlation is closest to oneness, if you want that language. I don't believe in all that unnecessary terms, but then if you think they are all very sweet, okay. Closest. Like somebody saying you are closest to God, etc., etc. So the Gauna Ekatvam is closest to Mukhya Ekatvam. Virtual oneness is definitely closest to literal oneness, because it is a relation. Now what he is going to say is this. Veditra has no existence except in relation to the Vedyam, and Vedyam has no existence except in relation to Veditru. Therefore, Veditru, Vedya, Bhava is called the fundamental correlation. This is fundamental correlation. Therefore, when you transcend your Veditritvam, you also transcend Vedyam. When you transcend your sense of individual knowerness, you also transcend the known. Now he is going to say something. This object is generally viewed as this, me and this, me and this. If you want to understand the contrast correctly, you have to understand it is me and you. Me and you. You is the object. I can look at the table and say me and you. Therefore, an object, even though generally it is called idam pratyaya vishaya, but correctly speaking it is yushmat pratyaya vishaya. Bhashyakara puts it as yushmat pratyaya vishaya. Whereas the subject is asmat pratyaya. That is all right. Asmat pratyaya vishaya, aham pratyaya vishaya. It's all right. But the object, generally man comes. See, I have tried people's, how intelligent they are. Bhaiya, this idam pratyaya vishaya, it is alright, but actually the real contrast is felt, seen, appreciated only between aham pratyaya vishaya and the object looked at as yushmat, because it stands in contrast to me. An object doesn't stand contrast with another object. The object stands in contrast to the subject. Therefore, me and thou. Thou the table, you the table. This is a relative term. How I'll tell you. This as different from that. This as different from that. But thou is in contrast to aham. Understand? Thou is in contrast to aham. But this is as different from that. It's a distance, spatial. It is a spatial reference. If it is close, I call it this. If it is distant, I call it that. But the exact description of an object is neither this nor that. The exact description of an object is thou. Are you able to follow this point? If you don't follow also, it doesn't matter. I don't expect you to follow this point. If you follow, you are great. Hats off. If you don't follow, it doesn't surprise me. If you follow, it makes me happy. Because the contrast must be seen. Like light and darkness, what is it? They are two different things or just a contrast? Contrast, yes. It's a contrast. Therefore, this universe is not this. Because this is a word that is for this closer and that. This is in relation to that. But in contrast to me, it is not this or that. In contrast to me, it is you. The universe is Yushmat Pratyaya Vishaya. And Atma is this he talks about. This we will see in the next class. Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, ji. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai, Ganga Maya ki jai. Haji, there is prasad.